Okay, we're going to be doing the Xing Yi, the first drill that we've been learning from Xing Yi uh, in slow motion. And I'm going to be exploring some of the healthy weight transfer and movement dynamics uh, that I'm learning from the work of my wife, Erin Godfrey, and as well as the Axis syllabus. So first we're going to start with the standard Xing Yi side-by-side stance. I'm I feel I can feel the comfort and strength that happens in my knees and my hips, but my knees especially when I put weight into the outer ridges of the feet. So my front foot is in the crook of the instep of the back foot. And the devil is in the details here of how to really apply Xing Yi well. So first step, we're going to just step to a standard length Xing Yi stance. Here, I find it's easier on the back knee to put a little more weight on, not just on the ridge point of the back foot, but on the ball of the pinky toe. I'm trying to keep my hips in alignment. And now, slow motion, as I drive forward, more and more weight comes on the ball of the pinky toe. That's my receptive system of my foot. So the heel's just coming off the ground. Then each of the toes engage in that spiral pattern, going from the heel to the ridge point to the ball of the pinky toe to each one of the toes, the big toe, and then sinking to the ball of the big toe as the heel comes up high. And I'm doing that as I'm driving forward. The foot can gather and we can open the foot, opening, turning on the ball of the foot, and I'm working to keep my hips inside, not sticking them out, not hyperextending here, but staying centered. And you can use a wall to support you. The weight in my back foot is on the ball of the pinky toe. And again, I'm going from that receptive system to the pinky, to the each one of the toes to the big toe, and then the ball of the big toe as the heel comes more and more off the ground. And then this part is called threading the needle. Then the back knee is going to come right through the crook of the front knee to a side-by-side Xing Yi stance behind and then in front. And now you're in the opposite side-by-side Xing Yi stance. And your next step, I'm going to do this one in slow motion. You, I'm going to do it count by count, really broken down fine. So take a small step, try this, and start to shift the weight of the back foot onto the ridge point and then the ball of the pinky toe a little bit. Take a little bit longer step and the heel, the back heel starts to come off the ground. Keep your balance. Ball of the pinky toe on the back foot in order to stay on that receptive system and saving the propulsive system of the ball of the big toe till the end. So then I go around the spiral and I do the pinky toe to the big toe, back to the ball of the big toe, and then this is as I'm doing this, I'm taking another step in order to show all these things are happening as I'm gliding forward and taking a lunge step. So I end up in this lunge, and then I gather the back foot behind. So now once again, I'm going to open, step and open the foot, keeping the hips in alignment, gathering them inward. And here, as I'm driving forward, each time I drive forward, again, I send a little wave of force in order to not just collapse the foot as you drive forward and collapse the knee inward. I'm thinking of, I'm trying to basically move the force around the outer ridge of the foot. So I'm doing ball of the big toe to big toe and around to the pinky toe and back. And that's part of the first moment of the propulsion as you go forward. And so there's a brief moment as you start coming forward that you're pushing off the heel, but then it spirals back forward. As your foot comes out, it comes to the ridge point. As your foot comes a little further, it comes to the ball of the pinky toe, and now the heel is coming off the ground. Each one of the toes engage. You go a little further in your lunge. Each of the toes engage, and then finally you've twisted, and the ball of the big toe is driving off the ground. In the final part of the lunge, you gather. So you can do this each time, including during the opening and during the gather step. So there's 2 steps to this. I'm going to show it at a bit of a medium slow pace. So the 2 steps are, we can start with the opening. So you step and open, and again, as you drive forward, you're still putting weight on the receptive system around the toes, ball of the big toe, and then thread the needle forward. As you drive forward, there's back pressure around the spiral of the back foot, and as you come forward, you drive, and the heel starts to come up, and the ball, I'm putting weight on the ball of the pinky toe in order to keep the structure of my the arch of the foot. So there, and then around to the ball of the big toe and gather. So there's 2 steps to this. You're going from the open step to that includes the threading the needle, and then you're doing the lunge and gather. So it's sum pa, you gather, and then you're in a Xing Yi stance. You open again, and you thread the needle, and then next one is the lunge and gather. So you open, thread the needle, lunge and gather. So here it is at a moderate pace. So let's start from the Xing Yi stance. Open, thread the needle, lunge and gather. Open, thread the needle, lunge and gather. Open, thread the needle, lunge and gather. Open, thread the needle, lunge and gather.